What makes a good person turn cruel? How far would you go if given unchecked power? In 1971, a team of psychologists at Stanford University sought answers to these haunting questions. What they uncovered shocked the world, and themselves. It was the height of the 1970s. Social movements were challenging authority, and questions about power dynamics were in the air. Philip Zimbardo, a psychology professor, wanted to explore how environments influence behavior. Could a simulated prison unlock the truth about human nature?
We're conducting a study on prison life. You'll be paid $15 a day for your participation. Roles will be assigned at random guard or prisoner.
24 young men signed up. They were carefully screened to ensure psychological stability, and then randomly assigned roles. These weren't criminals or authority figures, just average college students. Day 1 was quiet. The guards established rules. Prisoners had to call them Mr. Correctional Officer. Meals, bathroom breaks, and even the freedom to speak were tightly controlled. The prisoners complied, at first, but by day 2, cracks began to form. Some guards relished their newfound authority. They shouted orders, imposed petty punishments, and began degrading the prisoners.
It was like a switch flipped. I didn't feel like a college kid anymore. I felt like someone in charge.
The prisoners resisted, staging a rebellion. They blocked their cell doors with mattresses and refused to obey orders. The guards, feeling threatened, escalated their tactics. They used fire extinguishers to regain control, stripped prisoners of their clothing, and placed ringleaders in solitary confinement. The rebellion was crushed, but at a cost. A sense of fear and submission crept in. Within 36 hours, the first prisoner broke down. He screamed, cried, and begged to leave. Zimbardo allowed him to withdraw, but the experiment carried on.
I wasn't pretending anymore. I felt trapped, like I'd really done something wrong.
The guards' behavior grew increasingly sadistic. They deprived prisoners of sleep, forced them to perform humiliating tasks, and even used psychological tactics to turn prisoners against each other.
We knew we couldn't hurt them physically, so we got creative. It was a game to see how far we could push.
Even Zimbardo, the orchestrator of the experiment, became absorbed in his role as the prison superintendent. His objectivity faded as he prioritized maintaining the prison over the well-being of the participants. It wasn't until Christina Maslach, a young graduate student, visited the experiment that things took a turn. She was horrified by what she saw.
This isn't science, it's cruelty. How can you watch people suffer like this?
It's just an experiment. They can leave if they want to.
Can they? Look at them, Phil. They've forgotten this isn't real.
Maslach's words forced Zimbardo to confront the ethical breach. On the 6th day, he called an end to the experiment.
I realized I had become part of the problem. I was no longer the scientist observing behavior. I was enabling it.
When it was over, participants were debriefed. Many struggled to process what had happened. The guards expressed guilt, while prisoners described feelings of humiliation and helplessness. Participant: I didn't think I had that side of me, the side that could hurt someone else. The Stanford Prison Experiment became a media sensation. It raised profound questions about authority, morality, and the fragility of human behavior. Over the years, the experiment has faced criticism. Some argue that the participants acted how they thought they were expected to, influenced by Zimbardo's oversight. Others question whether the experiment's findings justify the emotional toll on its participants. Despite its flaws, the experiment remains a cautionary tale. It has been used to explain phenomena like military abuses and the power dynamics within institutions.
The experiment wasn't just about the participants, it was about us. Under the right conditions, we're all capable of both good and evil.
What the Stanford Prison Experiment revealed wasn't just the darkness within a basement at Stanford, it was the darkness within us all. The question is, what would you do if given the power? Power reveals who we truly are.
Like, subscribe and comment to join the conversation about the forces shaping our world.